Hi everyone, I hope that you are doing well. In this video, me and my classmate we are going to present to you how to make oral presentation about educational technology. Do you have an idea about education technology? Okay, never mind. When we talk about educational technology, is a file of studies that investigates the process of implementing, or we can say that in other words, designing a course or strategy that you are going to teach your learners or your students. So in this video, we select a domain and a specific label and a specific strategy that will make our research on. Firstly, the domain that where we selected is about adult learners, about level, intermediate level, especially group 1. And again about strategy, as we know, as future teacher, you have to know or to select the strategy that you are going to teach your students. So there are many strategies, but in this video or in this topic, we prefer the strategy non-linguistic representation to make the student or to teach the student in the best way. So the topic that we were showing is about teaching how to tell in time, using, of course, about non-linguistic representation. In this video, we are going to discuss about many things: introduction, stage 1, stage 2, and we are going to select the lesson plan that we are going to teach our students as example. Now, go ahead to the video.
Welcome everyone to this channel. Today we will present our project of educational technology titled Teaching How Till in Time Using Non-Linguistic Representation. Team members Abdelmoumin Mohamed Ammar, Alwash Lydia, Shalal Sabrina, Rubuh Khadija, and supervised by Mr. Autumn Zabit. In our project, we have focused on 9 key elements. First, we introduce the context of the project. Second, we define the non-linguistic representation strategy. Third, we explained our teaching stage. Fourth, we gave our lesson specifications. Fifth, we explained how we are going to apply the strategy on our lesson. Sixth, we explained how incorporate technology on the non-linguistic strategy. Seventh, how to apply the strategy on the classroom. Eighth, we made a lesson plan. Finally, we concluded the project by a short summary and the main takeaways of our project. The focus of our project is help learners develop understanding through the use of the non-linguistic representation strategy incorporated with technological devices, especially for beginners who struggle with the language. Let's move on to the introduction. This project involves a creative approach to teaching till in time in English using non-linguistic representation strategy. We have selected a course from the schedule of first year middle school. According to the book Using Technology with Classroom Instruction That Works, second edition, non-linguistic representation is a teaching strategy that involves using visual aids such as pictures, videos, and graphs. It enhances students' ability to mental images. As we can see, there are 5 recommendations for classroom practice using non-linguistic representations. First, graphic organizers. Second, make physical models or manipulatives. Third, generate mental pictures and images. Fourth, create illustration and pictographs. Fifth, engage in kinesthetic activities. During the teaching stage of our project, we will focus on the grit skill, which is telling time. Telling time is an important skill. That's why the lesson of telling time is included in the curriculum of first year middle school in the third sequence titled Me and My Daily Activities. This indicates the recognition of its relevance and the need of learners to acquire this skill in an early stage. Lesson specifications. Our lesson is designed for beginners level students aged from 10 to 12 years old, with a focus on teaching them how to tell time using non-linguistic representation techniques. The main objective of the lesson are to help students recognize the different components of a clock and to effectively tell time using both digital and analog clocks. Through the use of vocabulary related to the time expressions and interactive activities, we aim to enhance their understanding and engagement. Non-linguistic tools like interactive whiteboard online activities will be used to support their learning. The lesson is expected to last for 60 minutes. The non-linguistic representation is an effective way to teach telling time. This teaching approach can be beneficial to learners who may be struggling with traditional teaching methods. To introduce this strategy to the lesson of telling the time, we use physical materials such as pictures, using pictures to help learners to get better understanding of what a clock looks like and its different parts. We can also use hand-on activities to demonstrate the parts of clock, including the hour hand and the minutes hands and the numbers. Also, the Judy clock, the famous Judy clock, great tool for teaching telling the time. Flashcard, an activity by matching the clock face with the corresponding time. The clock face template, a matching activity which increases learning by matching the parts of the clock. Bringing a real clock to the classroom, great physical representation to help learners understand. Creating a clock, asking learners as homework to create their own clock is an effective traditional non-linguistic representation method of teaching. Non-linguistic representation strategies can be used also outside of the classroom as well. For example, wearing a watch daily and encouraging learners to use clock in their daily life by taking the skill learned in the classroom and applying it in their daily activities can increase learning. Incorporating technology to the use of non-linguistic representation strategy. Incorporate online technologies to the existing strategy non-linguistic representations such as images, audios, flashcards, clock face template, hand-on activities, videos, and games by using interactive whiteboard laptops and tablets. In our project, we have chosen to integrate the non-linguistic representation with technology in our teaching approach for several reasons. First, to provide students with more engaging learning experiences by incorporating visual aids, also interactive tools and multimedia resources. Second, to stimulate various cognitive processes in the brain such as attention, perception, and memory. According to educational psychologist Maria Montessori, learning to tell time can be difficult for young learners and non-native English speakers. Non-linguistic representation provides visual aids that help students better understand concepts like time, clocks, and numbers. Applying a technological device on a classroom. Teaching young learners how to tell time can be a challenging task, especially when they are beginners. That's why we decided to use the non-linguistic representation strategy with a technological device, clock face template on a whiteboard, to make it simpler to these learners as it comprises hand-on activity, visual and listening. Using technology, an online clock face template for classroom instruction. Thanks to technology, teachers can incorporate interactive activities into their English lessons, like teaching time using online clock face templates. These templates allow students to easily manipulate the hand on of a clock, experiment with time increment. The templates offer an excellent opportunity for students to practice their English language skills while also reinforcing their understanding of telling time in a fun and engaging way. Applying the non-linguistic representation strategy using clock face template on whiteboard. Firstly, we can start with warming up activity. This activity can be made to activate the learner's prior knowledge of numbers from 1 to 30 by calling out numbers by looking at the clock face on the whiteboard. Then we move on to the presentation. In this stage, the teacher introduces the clock using the clock face template on the whiteboard. Demonstrate how to identify the different parts of the clock face. Numbers, hour, minute, second hand on the clock face template on the whiteboard. And explain that the clock face is used to tell time. After that, to tell time, the teacher demonstrates how hour hand indicates the hour and the minute hand indicates the minutes. Here the teacher introduces time expressions. O'clock, half past. He will explain that when the minute hand is pointing at the number 12, that it means it is o'clock, and when the minute hand is pointing at the number 6, that it is half past. Firstly, the practice. In this stage, learners practice by identifying the hour hand and the minute hand using the clock face template on their tablets. To practice telling time, we can divide the class into pairs. One student moves the hour hand and minute hand on the clock face template on the whiteboard or on their tablets, while the other will be asked to say the time out loud, and of course the role will be reversed. Also, the teacher can provide scenarios and tell the learners to show the time on the clock face template on the whiteboard. Our lesson plan. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, pupils will be able to learn to tell the time for o'clock and half past the hour, identify the described parts of a clock, apply their understanding of telling time to real-life situations, learn to incorporate non-linguistic representation strategies using technological devices. The subject matter. Teach learners how to tell time. Focusing on teaching learners how to tell time at o'clock and half past as starting point for introducing time telling skills. Reference: Book of First Year Middle School. Materials: tablets, interactive whiteboard, online activities, videos, interactive clock activities. For the procedure, we will start with a warming activity. Reviewing numbers, watching and listening to a video, ask learners to volunteer to name the numbers. Second, presentation. Present clock face template on whiteboard and describe its parts. Show and explain how to manipulate the minutes and the hour hands. Ask learners to name the parts of a clock. Use the whiteboard to present different time and ask learners to tell time. Use online interactive clock activity to reinforce understanding. Show videos and provide examples and explanation of telling time. Ask learners to write the example on their copybooks and write down the new words on their notebooks. Finally, the practice. After students have mastered the hours, it's time to practice minutes. Use online clock face template with eclipsed time to practice minutes and seconds. And to make it fun, add the secret number game to the activities. Finally, conclusion. Teaching young learners how to tell time using non-linguistic representation strategy with technology can make the process much easier and enjoyable. It allows them to visualize and connect with the material in a more meaningful way and helps them build a strong foundation of skills which carries over to other areas of learning. The main takeaways from the project: improved learning. The use of non-linguistic representation strategy with clock-face templates can improve learning outcomes in language education. Interactive. Interactive and hand-on learning can improve students' engagement and enjoyment in the classroom. Increased retention. Using non-linguistic representation strategies improves the retention of information. As future teachers, we can say that technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.